So I chanced on this post from one of my friends, and he was like, "What at all are we doing in this world?" So I looked at the post, went, came back, and then I read again. What exactly are we here on earth for? That's what the post read. So obviously, this person who posted has got an issue with finding his purpose in here, his purpose in the world, why he's here, and what he has to achieve. Catalyst, welcome back to the channel. This is your girl Lit, and today I am talking about purpose, finding your potentials and fulfilling purpose. So the conversation of purpose has been going on for a while, and for some time now people have been trying to find out where they are from, where they are going, and why they are here. It's not uncommon that even as at this age, some people even in their 40s will still not know their purpose and will still not be able to work towards achieving them. In this video, I bring to you what purpose is, what it might mean to some people, and why you should know who you are to be able to achieve your purpose. And 5 things you should know that could help you gear towards attaining and fulfilling your purpose. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. This is your channel, Lit the Catalyst, and today I am sharing with you 5 things that will help you to know your purpose. So let's begin. Now, to start with, I think we should get something straight, especially purpose. So purpose is the reason for which something is created. So as humans, our purpose is the reason for which we are here on earth, the reason by which we live, and the reason why we exist. That is purpose. I think in line with purpose fulfilling, we should also get the idea of fulfillment. So fulfillment actually has to do with finding satisfaction, deriving satisfaction from achieving your goals. Now, in speaking about purpose and fulfillment, one thing that really lies in between that most often is overlooked is your potentials. The gap between achieving your purpose and getting to the place of fulfillment is potentials. Now, potentials is your inherent abilities, your inborn abilities, the things that you came into the world with that you effortlessly have them within you. Having defined purpose, potential, and fulfillment, it is very expedient that we know that one cannot fulfill purpose or one cannot achieve satisfaction without knowing why we are here. Now, someone may ask, why do I know I am even on earth? And the first thing to help you know your existence on earth is for you to know who you are. So first of all, who are you? What is your name? Where are you from? Who are you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your temperaments? What is the things you can effortlessly do? Identify your potentials. In finding who you are, you will be able to list down and know the kind of potentials that you have. Until you actually are able to answer the question of who you are, identity will battle with you, and you won't be able to rule out why you exist in this world. Going forward, one thing that I'd like to also mention is the fact that most people, in trying to identify who they are, tend to focus more on their cultural background. People tend to focus more on where they are coming from, the kind of families that they were brought up from. Obviously, yes, it contributes to who you are, but who you are as an individual should be clearly defined. The fact that you were culturally brought up in a Black environment, in a Black African environment, forms the basic part of your identity. You are an African. The fact that you were born in a white culture forms the basic of your identity. But until you are able to actually define who you are and know who you are by your worth, you will not be able to get anywhere, and you'll not be able to understand the reason why you are on this earth. Having identified who you are, the next question is, where am I from? So that is why I told you in the first 5 things to be able to help you know your purpose and be able to achieve them. I said, know who you are. Now, having known who you are, the second thing is, where are you from? So, for some of us, myself as an example, I am from Ghana. I am from a very humble family. I am from a very humble beginning. And if you are able to know where you are from, it will be able to set your path straight to where you want to go. That is the most important reason why you should know where you are from. So, for some people, where they are from is rosy, beautiful, well burdened. But until you are able to actually identify where you are going or where you want to go, where you are coming from will not be a motivating factor. So, for most people who have risen to fame or glory or riches that we mention their names, um, most of the one that we keep mentioning their names without really forgetting their achievement is because of where they were from. So, for people who were able to actually establish quite a fortune for themselves, and for those who came from very poor background, we tend not to forget their names because they have changed the status quo. They have changed where they are coming from because they knew where they wanted to go. So until you're able to know that I am from a humble family, I am from a poor family, this is where I am from, and I want to change the story, you will not be able to know why you are here, and you will not be able to fight for anything significant. So, knowing where you're coming from is a very good and motivating factor for most people to fight for what they want to achieve. So, research has shown that people who really come from humble homes, most of them tend to be mediocre. However, the few ones that are motivated to change the story for themselves, they are able to do it. Knowing where you are from plays another very important role in finding where you are going. Remember, I said that your purpose is the reason for which you are on this earth. And until you know where you're from, you will not be able to identify the potentials that serve as a bridge between your purpose and fulfillment. So, by knowing one, who you are, and two, where you are from, which will get you towards knowing where you want to be, you will not be able to know why you are here and the reason why you should fulfill it. Now, let's move to the third one. The third one is the biggest question of all. Why am I here? Now, for most people, they have never found the reason why they are here, and so they still keep begging to find out the reason why they are on earth. It is normal. After you've known who you are and you know where you're coming from to be able to know where you're going, why you are here makes a difference. And this is a question of purpose. It's funny enough that I keep saying potentials bridge the gap because based on your potentials, you are able to know why you're here. Yes, most people tend to misunderstand their ambitions to be the reasons why they are on earth. But there should be a clear line drawn that ambitions, this is not purpose. The fact that I aspire to be the first lady of a country does not mean I was born to be a first lady. The fact that I aspire to be a medical officer, the fact that I aspire to be a teacher, the fact that I aspire to be the most richest person on the continent in some years to come, doesn't mean I was born to be rich. Now, purpose is trying to find what you were made for, the reason why you were created for. So, for some of us, this question is still ambiguous. As your catalyst, I'm trying to break it down. By breaking it down, look at your inherent characteristics And by identifying your inherent characteristics and your capabilities, you are able to find the purpose for which these abilities were actually planted in you. So, ambition is never purpose. Get it straight. You finding what potentials you carry will help you find your purpose. I cannot obviously tell you what your purpose is, but by finding the potentials imbibed in you, it will be easier for you to find your purpose. But just know that ambition is not purpose. After knowing why you are here, the next thing is, what can I do? If you know why you're here, you found your purpose. And once you found your purpose, the next biggest question is, what can I do? How can I train my abilities? How can I train my potentials? What are these things that I can actually develop into getting me the destination of fulfillment? Now, first of all, Catalyst, I want each one of you watching me today to actually list your potentials and abilities. Every potential that you carry, your public speaking ability, your good sales potential, your ability to coerce people to side with you on a topic, your ability to actually reason from the lowest point of a higher subject to get things done. List your potentials and abilities. Now, when you have listed your potentials and abilities, ask yourself, how can I develop each one of these ones to be able to get to the place where I want it to be? Remember, from the start of video, we have already established that potential is a bridge between purpose and fulfillment. So how can these abilities that I have listed help me to get to the place of fulfillment? Now, one thing that my generation is good at doing is we're good at running a speed of getting to destinations when we actually need to walk to build our muscles to be able to run the speed of fulfillment. So people do not take the time to nurture potentials and abilities anymore. But as a catalyst, you should be able to understand the fact that once I've got the potentials and abilities of this in me, I have to be able to nurture it. So now the question comes, how do you nurture these abilities to get you to the destination? First of all, learning. You need to learn how to handle these abilities and potentials better. Learn what it is, learn what it means, and learn how you can actually apply it very well. Now, the next thing is, after you have learned and gone through the learning process, how can you leverage on this ability and potential to be able to get to your fulfillment destination? Leveraging on ability and potentials needs a lot more than learning, apprenticeship, or working with someone to learn what they do. Leveraging is more like hopping on the arms of someone to be able to get your potentials up there. So people leverage on people leverage on their education, people leverage on their money, others leverage on power, others leverage on their social class, others leverage on their religion. So know what will help in the leveraging of these potentials and ability for you to get there. For some people, what actually could serve as a leverage is their connectivity to some important people, is their connections, is their network. So know what you need to be able to get these potentials fulfilled. Mind you, by then you would have learned how to actually maximize this potential. So these potentials are already maximized. It is after maximizing that we talk about leveraging. You cannot leverage on your network, on people, on money when you don't have a potentials well developed. So whilst you yet to get to the stage of leveraging, you should have actually maximized your potentials, learn to improve your abilities, make sure that you've gone through the necessary stages you need to go through, and make sure that you have been able to learn to get to the place where your potentials and abilities have actually been nurtured before you think about leveraging. Now, after leveraging, what next? Still under identifying your potentials and ability, we have talked about learning, nurturing your potentials and ability. We talk about leveraging. And the last thing I want to talk about on these potential and ability subject is being grateful and being appreciative. So when people have actually nurtured the abilities, leveraged on people to get it shining, one thing they forget to do is to appreciate the people that actually help them to get there and appreciate the ability and potential that they have. So once they get there, most people tend to forget about continual development of these potential and abilities. Others forget about still associating themselves with the leverages, the network, the riches, the religion, the whatever that served as a leverage for them to get to their shining point, or what I say, to the point where their potentials are glowing up. Don't forget to be appreciative. Don't forget to appreciate people who contribute to building you up. Don't forget to appreciate who you are, where you have come, and where you have gotten to when you get there. Another thing I think I should add to potentials is the fact that potentials do not come refined. That is the reason why you need to learn. And mind you, potentials are not refined in the open. Potentials are refined secretly. We work on them secretly. We work on them in our various secret places. And that's how we get potentials developed. That's how we learn to potentiate the little ones we see. That's how we learn to develop our abilities, because it is a hidden thing. No one sees it, and potentials do not come refined. We have answered the question of who you are, where are you from, to be able to know where you want to go. Why are you here? A question of purpose. We've also talked about what can I do? A question of potential and ability. And now the final one that we're going to talk about is where am I going? So after you've been able to know where you are coming from, develop your potentials to get to the level, now the question of actualization comes in. Where am I going? And it is at this point that you're able to actually extremely potentiate all the things that you have done to ask yourself where you are going. Remember, once you've been able to refine your potentials and ability, leveraged on people, and have started climbing, the question of where am I going should be answered. Because we have heard of people who started well but never ended well. That's because the question of where they wanted to go or where they wanted to be was not clearly defined. It's a constant, continuous question, and you should never stop asking yourself where you are going, because the moment you stop asking yourself that question, life ends, and then stagnancy is what you get. You tend to remain at one place for a long time because you have failed to answer the question, where are you going? So Catalyst, that's where we end on this video. Remember that this is a video purposefully made to answer a question, and we have actually identified what purpose is, and I have given you the 5 questions you would have to answer to be able to get to your point of fulfillment. So who are you? Where are you from? Why are you here? What can you do? And where are you going? These are the 5 questions that you need to ask yourself to be able to get to your place of fulfillment. And remember, when you've been able to actually identify where you're going, it is only at that point when you get there that you would feel satisfied. The thing that we go through is all to get us to a point of satisfaction, to a place where we'd say we have arrived. So Catalyst, if you've liked this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Send it to that friend who needs it, and let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. I'll take time to reply to it. And until I come your way again, don't forget to catalyze your own success in your own way. Bye.